Hey guys, how are you doing? This is What's Done in the Dark Tea. This is my Love Island Season 8, Episode 13, I believe, review. So we're going to make this short and sweet because I started this late and I need to go to bed. So we're just going to get right into it. Okay, so we start the episode. Anaya is talking to Trinity. She's still upset. Her and Casey are not understanding each other. He's talking to the guys. He's expressing how he feels. He's upset that they can't get on the same page. They're both not understanding what they're talking about. And honestly, at this point in the episode, I felt like this was something that they could work through. But I do still feel like if a bombshell comes in that, not that they'll waver, but I definitely think there will be some more friction if there is a bombshell come in. Or even now, well, we'll get to that. Caleb and Jen have a talk. They're talking about Kinsey and pretty much her still having feelings for Corbin. At first I thought he was pulling Jen because he might be interested in her, and I was like, that's kind of a weird mix. I wouldn't have seen them talking to each other. They just don't seem like they would have a vibe. Then Bryce and we get a conversation from Bryce and Zach, and they're still talking about, like, you know, their connections. Bryce says that he's still unsure if Trinity fully likes him or not, or if she would leave if someone else comes into the house. And I don't really know why he thinks that, because I think Trinity really likes him. Even if somebody did come in who was her type, I still think she's going to pick Bryce. Will she talk to the other guy? Yes. Is she going to pick him? I don't think so. It's still the night before, like, so it hasn't shifted to the next day yet. So we're still seeing after Melanie and Sincere have a conversation. So Sol walks into the dressing room and she ends up seeing Mel talking to Kata, whispering and kind of doing like a pinky promise type thing. So she's suspicious. Kinsey is screaming that she wants a stable relationship. Girl, give me a fucking break. Girl, Kinsey, she really pissed me off, but I'm glad that the end of this worked out the way that it did. So hopefully we just don't have to deal with that anymore, because it was really just getting on my nerves. It was so funny when Trinity came in and she kicked Zach out of the bed. She's like, get the fuck out of my spot. And I thought that was funny, because I feel like the producers are really playing into the Zach and Bryce of it all. So I thought it was funny that she said that and they showed that. So then they go to bed that night, and this is what I'm saying. This cast is so freaked out. So everybody is just making out. And then we get a little shot of Melanie and Corbin. He's kissing on her shoulder. Then the next thing you know, they're kissing. And the way that the camera went, I definitely thought, I was like, someone is hunching right now. And whenever I first saw it, I thought it was Melanie and Corbin. I had to rewind it back. But I think Jen and Gabe was hunching. I'm not for sure. They asked her the next day what was going on. She said, I don't even know. They was hunching. They was in there hunching. Gabe is fine, so I get it. Anyway, so Casey is annoyed. He's annoyed with the situation with Anaya, but Anaya is saying that she feels confident in her connection with Casey. So, like I said, I think that this is something that they would get over. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it's a simple misunderstanding, and emotions are just high. So then we get this weird scene. I'm telling you, Kinsey for the last couple episodes has just been so weird to me, and I just don't like. I think I like the dynamic of Kinsey and Jen together as friends. I don't like them because they're having a conversation and Sol is there. And then as soon as Sol gets up and walks away, she's like, oh, I can tell you because I trust you. I trust you completely. I made out with Corbin. Everybody knows you're making out with Corbin. All you do is make out with Corbin. I just thought that was shady. I don't know. Every episode, I just like Kinsey less and less. And especially after this one, I just like her less and less. And is still doing his back and forth. He's conflicted. I don't think he's ever really been conflicted. I'm really feeling like a lot of this is production this season, because when I'm just seeing how some of the couples go, I just really don't think that they're really like, oh, I'm so confused about who I want to be with and blah, blah, blah. I don't think that that's the case. I think that they very much know, but they're just being told they need to explore. Melanie and Corbin talk, and it seems like a good talk. I think Melanie is definitely reserved. She still likes Sin, and she knows that Corbin likes Kinsey, but he keeps telling her to put her emotions out there. Melanie is not stupid. She's not going to put all her chips into Corbin. There's really no reason. He's too wrapped up in Kinsey. Kinsey and Caleb talk, and she's feeding him the same bullshit. She knows she doesn't like that man. I don't understand why she was pretending that she liked him. I think Caleb is so attractive. He's sweet. I hope they bring somebody else in for Caleb. I just really don't like this dynamic. Soul is talking about Sin, and she's like, oh, he calls me little pet nicknames for me. He calls me beloved. I don't know. To me, it's giving creepy, but I don't know. No, beloved gives horror movie to me, but maybe that's just me. Zach and Kata are talking. They're kissing. Zach looks extremely bored. I still feel like Kata should have never gave up the cheeks. I do feel like if somebody else comes in that Zach is going to sway. Verdict is still out on Zach. I don't know how I feel about him. I'm kind of indifferent. Then they do another frickin' shot, and of course Kinsey got her frickin' ass over there with Corbin again. I'm like, my God, just put them in a frickin' couple. I'm tired of it. Kinsey, sit your ass down somewhere. Don't you have splits to do? Like, practice that. He gets the text. Trinity gets the text. I got a text. Funny because they find out that in the challenge they're going to be writing love letters to each other, and everybody is like talking about how they're nervous about writing a letter and who they're going to talk to and everything like that. So this is going to be a really good challenge because you know it's going to be messy. This really, really funny shot where Trinity yells like, oh, where's ChatGPT? We need ChatGPT. And they immediately pan the camera to Corbin, and I'm just like, they are in the comment sections. They are watching what people say because I've heard so many people call him Corbin GPT just for them to literally pan to Corbin, and then they keep doing the powering down stuff. Like, they're playing it up. I think it's funny. We get a clip of KC saying that he might want to explore other things. The only thing I could really see him exploring right now is Soul, unless somebody else comes in. I do think that that's really going to hurt Anaya if he does that, but I think eventually that will happen just because it makes for good TV. They get like, okay, so now we're flash forward. We're at the point where they're like about to play the game. So Ariana shows up. Everybody's looking good. Ariana looks so freaking good. That dress, I don't know if I really like her with the dark hair. I mean, she's gorgeous either way. But there's something about like blonde Ariana in the summer. I don't know. She's hot either way. But as soon as they start and they're like giving like the instructions or whatever, here goes Love Island. Might as well face it, you're addicted to love. Might as well face it, you're addicted to love. Like, my God, like, who's picking out the music? Like, Love Island, give me a job. Like, I feel like I could score this. If that's all we're doing, like, we're just finding songs that are completely spot on. Like, I got an emo playlist that'll eat this up, okay? I really do. All right, so then first couple that goes is Trinity and Bryce, and of course they write cute letters to each other. I like them together as a couple. Bryce is giving Zoolander face. I don't know what it is, but it's like they always catch him giving very much Ben Stiller. I don't know how to explain it, but he's always like pressing out his like bottom jaw, and they always get him in that. Then we get Jen and Gabe. I really did think that their speeches to each other were really cute. I really did think that they were cute. I don't know how he can feel so passionately after Bea just now touched down in the States barely, but honestly, they were hunching the night before, so they better have feelings for each other. Casey and Anaya are next. Very, very cute. Very, very cute. I knew that they were going to choose each other. I'm glad that Anaya expressed the way that she feels about KC. I'm glad that she put it out there and just let it be known. I also like that KC explained a little bit more of his personality to kind of help her understand. He made a comment saying that, you know, as a kid, he found humor to deal with some stuff that was going on in his life at the time. And she said that, she felt bad for how she had handled things. And that's what I was saying. I think that this is just a matter of misunderstanding. Sometimes when, you know, even though somebody may look good to you and you may be physically attracted to them, once you get to know the person, they're a complete total person. Like, that's a whole nother human being. And you're raised differently and you have different life experiences. And honestly, their life experiences are very different. Her dad was in the NBA. Casey is just now figuring stuff out. So I think that they do have different experiences, but I do think communication could definitely save this couple. I feel like if they communicate, they could just stay together. I feel like they're good together. I think they like each other. But I still know that Love Island is going to bring in somebody to tempt us, so I don't think it's going to be all peaches and roses. Zach and Kata, again, cute, but I still think they keep playing up that Zach keeps saying explore, explore, explore. So when either Casa comes or the next Bombshells, whichever one it is, we already know that Zach is going to act up. He's definitely going to act up. Then we get to Kenzie. I could barely watch the last two. I was like watching through like the slits of my eyes, and this is from somebody who watches horror, and I could barely watch this because the suspense was like too much. Even though I knew what was going to happen, I just overall felt bad for Caleb. So Kenzie gets 2 letters, and one's from Corbin, one's from Caleb. She, of course, decides to go with Corbin, so Caleb is single. And I just really want them to bring in somebody for Caleb. I just feel so bad for him. I think he's so handsome. He's a Southern gentleman. He is also from South Carolina. I'm not from South Carolina, but I live in South Carolina. So shout out to you, Caleb. We're rooting for him. And I want him to find somebody. And then last 3 people are Soul, Melanie, and Sincere. I did not know what was going to happen here. I could barely look, and then it went to commercial in between, and I was like, oh my God, please. My heart can't take this. But he reads his 2 letters, and then they go to Soul first, and her mailbox is empty. And that, I don't know, that was just, it was really, really sad, but it was like part of my mind, it was kind of like I knew he was going to pick Melanie, but also in the back of my head, I really thought he was going to pick Soul. So I don't really know what honestly, that just shows how like flip-floppy he was, how like washy he was, because like I didn't know which way he was going to go. But I am glad to see him and Melanie like back together. When they were writing the letters, it seems like they were having really deep conversations and really did care about each other. I think that the editors are just really doing us dirty because we're not getting to see a lot of these connections really getting built, because I feel the same way about like Anaya and Casey, about Bryce and Trinity, which we do get to see a little bit more of them now, but they always make it in the sense of like, them gossiping. We did get the one like interracial relationship conversation, but I think that we're kind of getting very surface with people. Like, I would have never thought that Jen and Gabe were that into each other, or even that him and Bia were that into each other, because I didn't know till she left, because that was the first time they showed us emotion. So who's to say? But overall, I thought this was a really good episode. It felt really long. It wasn't that long. I think it was like just maybe like an hour and 15 or something like that. It wasn't that long, but for some reason it just felt really, really long tonight, I guess because there was just a lot of stuff going on. I felt like that in the last 2 episodes. There's just been a lot going on. But so since Soul and Caleb were both left single after the challenge, they get coupled up. So Ariana gives a speech and she says treasure each other. You never know how much time you're going to have left. And then we get the tribute for James Barker, the producer, who passed away. I'm not exactly sure when he passed away, but we got news yesterday, or passed away while in Fiji. So that's very, very sad. And so they gave him a really beautiful tribute. They had pictures up of him. It was just really, really nice. I like how they tied everything in together. And I also thought it was really nice that they gave him that, public tribute. And so, yeah, that was the end of episode 13, and it ended with letting us know that we have a vote. I went on and voted because I didn't even know what we were voting on. I was like, what can we be voting on? We're not sending anybody home, but the vote tonight was who is your favorite couple. And I feel like you have to be kind of strategic with these things. And don't listen to me because I was not strategic at all. I just picked Bryce and Trinity and went about my way so I could record this. But I do feel like you have to be strategic in these things because you know how like last year we would mess up by like voting for our favorite couple, but then somebody you didn't really want to go home but didn't have that many votes, they ended up going home, or like everybody thought that somebody was going to get the votes and then we were voting for other people. So sometimes I feel like we need to be strategic, but honestly, at this point, I don't know. I still don't care about it, anybody enough to care who goes home. I mean, I would be sad if anybody went home at this point because I like the cast, but also, do I think that anybody is in love? No. But anyway, it's getting late, so I'm going to get off of here. This has been What's Done in the Dark. This is our review of Love Island. We've got a little break tomorrow. If you guys aren't following me on TikTok, follow me on TikTok. I'm not doing Love Island over there, but I do have other celebrity pop culture things going on over there. And eventually I'll get that together. Everything is just a lot right now. I'm figuring it out. But anyway, it was nice talking to you guys tonight, and I will see you guys Thursday. Wait, is there no? Yeah, there's no episode tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you guys Thursday. Bye.